The hangar in Wolverhampton was packed full of hundreds of RevPro fans this past Friday for 2025 Summer Sizzler. And my goodness, it turned out to be a night that none of us will ever forget. A history-making occasion in so many ways. The night began with a man who is hoping to make history in August at the 13-year anniversary weekend as Sha Samuels, the man who will either win the British heavyweight title or retire, went one-on-one with Jay Joshua. This was two men at the height of their powers going at it in our opener in the West Midlands. Samuels was accompanied by Harry, his protege, at ringside. Despite the hard-hitting offense of Joshua, the East End Butcher was able to pull out another victory as his momentum continues to build ahead of that date with Destiny in Crystal Palace next month. Next up, it was time for the first match in Block B of the Great British Tag League. The winners of last year's Trios Grand Prix, CPF, Joe Lando and Danny Black, competed against the unorthodox duo of David Francisco and JJ Gale, the Sons of Southampton. And interestingly, despite the fact that for a long while it seemed as though Gale and Francisco would never team up, now that they have, they are proving to be a surprisingly coherent tag team unit. But that being said, it takes something special to put down CPF. And on this night, with an FIJ, CPF picked up their first 3 points to send themselves top of Block B in that Great British Tag League. Next, a rivalry that has really exploded ever since the Revolution Rumble last month, and a first-time ever singles contest between Trent Seven and TK Cooper. A couple of weeks ago, Seven was able to beat Cooper's tag team partner Chuck Mambo, so was looking to go 2 for 2 in singles matches against Sunshine Machine. Seven eventually won the match the exact same way that he defeated Mambo a fortnight ago with a pile driver followed by the Birmingham Hammer. But after the bell, Cooper attacked Seven, causing Mambo to run down to the ring for what we all presumed was an attempt to talk Cooper down. But then, in a shocking moment, Mambo turned the tables, attacking Seven, and even though it seemed for a moment that Mambo couldn't quite believe what he'd just done, he then doubled down, putting a beating on Seven before hugging Cooper. So a reunion for Sunshine Machine just when it seemed like their pairing was falling apart. But perhaps in choosing to reunite with Cooper, Chuck Mambo may have just sold his soul. The fourth match of the night was something of a dream match right now in British Tag Team Wrestling. The Young Guns, who have been the dominant force here in Revolution Pro for much of 2025. They are, of course, the undisputed British Tag Team Champions. Well, they had their second Block A match against the Grizzled Young Veterans, a pair who had a significant influence on the development of Ethan Allen and Luke Jacobs. It was a match just as physical as I'm sure anyone would expect between these four, but perhaps some fans didn't expect the conclusion of the match that they got. Given how unstoppable the Young Guns have been, it was quite the shocker to see them ultimately fall to GYV. Now, this was a Great British Tag League match, so the titles weren't on the line, but regardless of what happens for the rest of the tournament, with the Grizzled Young Veterans getting a pinfall victory over the tag team champions, that's got to put them right at the heart of the conversation when it comes to future title opportunities. Into the second half in Wolverhampton, and a fascinating showdown between Robbie X and the Beast Mortis. As we know, Robbie X declares himself the greatest light heavyweight on the planet, whereas the Beast, despite his size, with remarkable agility and that lucha libre influence. And it was Mortis who eventually secured the victory over Robbie X.
Oh wait, look who's here! It's Archie Cole grabbing the chair from Robbie X.
A little bit of payback for that assaulting commentary.
Robbie X needs to turn around. What a spear! What a spear from Beast Mortos. And Mortos not done. Jesus Christ!
As the night went on at Summer Sizzler, the star power just kept on coming. Los Tranquilos de Japón, Bushi and Tetsuya Naito making their return to RevPro, taking on the up-and-coming duo of Mark True and Kieran Lacey, accompanied to the ring by the former undisputed British Cruiserweight champion Will Caven. True and Lacey giving their Japanese opponents all they could handle. Naito, in his first match in some time since leaving New Japan, pulled out the Destino to secure the win as the Hanger rose to its feet in unison. It was one of the most heated, undisputed British Heavyweight Championship matches we have ever seen here in RevPro. the two-time champion, the master of the half crab, Michael Oku, against his arch nemesis, Ricky Knight Jr. A match where RKJ had promised to take the title from Oku. A match where Oku had promised to forcefully end the rivalry between these two that has been boiling over for so long. And the temperature in Wolverhampton hit boiling point between these two very, very quickly. A match that went all around the ringside area. Both men bleeding profusely as they competed for the richest prize in independent wrestling. A mirror got involved from ringside after being manhandled by Knight, but it concluded with a trio of Rikishi drivers from Knight before he secured the shocking 1, 2, 3 to become a two-time undisputed British heavyweight champion, much to the fury of many in attendance at Summer Sizzler.
The only career that's going to end is Shark Samuels at the anniversary show, because you're facing the undisputed British heavyweight champion, Ricky Knight Jr.
The CEO of RevPro made her return, Mercedes Moné, making her second defense of the undisputed British Women's Championship against the winner of the #1 contenders tournament, the Cutthroat Collective's Sapphire Reed. Reed actually came down to the ring with her allies from the CTC, but quickly asked them to return to the locker room so that she could face Moné on her own. Moné began the match in a somewhat cocky way, as though trying to tell Reed that she wasn't on her level, but quickly Reed was able to gain the respect of the champion by showing her skill, and there were various moments, including a warhead headbutt from Sapphire Reed, where it seemed as though she might be about to shock the wrestling world. Reed even survived the statement maker, that trademark submission hold of Mercedes Moné, but the Moné maker was enough to finally secure the victory. Moné remaining the CEO of RevPro and still your undisputed British Women's Champion.
And look at the embrace between Moné and Sapphire Reed.
Oh no! What are they doing?
Oh, come on!
CTC! They're attacking Moné! Kanji's here!
Mercedes Moné and Kanji is there for everyone to see.
The action just keeps coming after a remarkable Summer Sizzler as this incredible summer continues. Meanwhile, I've been Dave Bradshaw and you've been watching the RevPro Recap.